les cheveux. Bon.
So I just want to ask you about the Liberal leadership campaign. Some people, even within your own party, critics are saying they're calling it a whitewash, a pantomime, given some of the Garneau dropping out of the race, the extension of the timeline for people to register to vote. You must be at least somewhat disappointed with how things have gone.
We have a strong slate of candidates. We had from the very beginning. People reached out across the country, worked very, very hard to draw Canadians in towards the party. We signed up a record number of almost 300,000 people who are interested in building the future of the Liberal Party. We still have an awful lot of work to do between now and April 14th, including another week to register voters. But I'm very, very pleased with how it's gone, and I look forward to continuing the hard work that we've done up until this point, right until April 14th and beyond, because 2015 is coming quickly.
Est-ce que vous pouvez répondre en français à ça, justement, est-ce que vous êtes déçu de comment ça se déroule présentement?
Je suis très fier du leadership du Parti libéral. On a eu 9 très bons candidats dès le début. On a eu beaucoup de travail à faire partout au pays pour amener un nombre record de gens qui sont intéressés à participer à ce renouveau du Parti libéral. Pour moi, ça a été et ça continue d'être un leadership dans lequel on travaille extrêmement fort pour mériter encore l'appui des Canadiens, et je trouve que ça va très bien.
Est-ce que je peux vous poser une question concernant aujourd'hui? Est-ce que les jeunes autochtones sont prêts, à votre avis, pour faire face justement à ce qui s'en vient?
Je sais qu'ils ont l'optimisme et la confiance de vouloir le faire. Ils cherchent encore les outils, mais pour moi, cette campagne qui est axée énormément sur les jeunes, sur l'idée de les amener à être plus impliqués et à plus s'engager par rapport à notre gouvernance à tous les différents niveaux, va justement leur donner les outils pour amener un changement significatif dans les prochaines années.
Hey Justin, it's Chioma from Amoy Magazine. How are you?
Very well. Good to see you.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the role of the youth in the political process in continuing the rights of the Cree.
Well, I think one of the things that I pointed out is that in First Nations communities across the country, 48% of people are under 25 years old, whereas the Canadian average is only around 30%. So what we really have is a situation in which young First Nations peoples, particularly young Cree, have an extraordinary responsibility and an opportunity to shape this next wave of solutions that we're going to need as we move forward into the 21st century. And over the past 5 years of my political activism, but certainly before that, all my life, I've been engaged with young people and focused on empowering them so they can properly be leaders of today, not just of tomorrow.
Did you charge for this speech, and how much?
I'm honored to be invited and honored to be sharing with the people in this community my views and my deep respect for them.
How important do you think an event like this one is?
I think it's extremely important because it highlights, first of all, to the young people who attend, just how important it is that we be investing in them, that we be engaging with them, we be taking the time to demonstrate our confidence and our hope in giving them tools and making them understand that the future that they will live in depends on the present that they shape right now. And the hard work of Grand Chief Matthew Kunkam and all the other elders and chiefs really plays out when we show young people just how much we find them essential to our present and our future.
I didn't actually hear a yes or no to that question.
No.
L'accord de Kelowna, de Paul Martin, c'est quelque chose qui vous a certainement déçu que ça ait été aboli par le gouvernement conservateur. Si un jour vous avez le pouvoir, est-ce que c'est le genre de choses que vous aimeriez ramener?
Absolument, absolument. Mais il faut comprendre qu'on n'est pas là pour défendre même des bonnes idées d'il y a 10 ans. Il va falloir qu'on regarde vers l'avenir. Mais les principes qui ont caractérisé l'accord de Kelowna, des principes de partenariat, de transparence et de solutions axées sur des solutions concrètes. Mais mis dans un contexte où on a eu des négociations pendant 24 mois de façon extrêmement détaillée. Ce n'est pas une solution préparée par hasard ou aléatoirement. Ça a été réellement travaillé et c'est le genre de partnership et d'investissement dont on a besoin dans les années à venir. Alors ce modèle que l'on a absolument, on va le ressusciter, mais l'accord comme tel, on a perdu 10 ans dans notre développement des capacités partout au pays. On a beaucoup de chemin à faire pour pouvoir le ramener.
What does your presence here today signify for the Cree Nation under a Liberal government?
Well, for me, this is about the tremendous respect I have for the successes of the Cree Nation, but also indicates that I believe that there is work still to be done, and to take time to emphasize the importance of the young people of the Cree Nation here in this room and across Iuichi, for me is a really important message, because everywhere we have young people, whether it's First Nations or others, who are feeling disengaged and disempowered by political structures and decisions, and to demonstrate a willingness to come forth, listen and engage and learn alongside them is, I think, a message that these young people need to hear more often from politicians.
How important is electoral reform for you?
Electoral reform
specifically getting rid of first past the post.
Electoral reform is something that I've heard an awful lot of people talk about across the country, and it's one that I'm very concerned of. People are tired of electing people to represent them in Ottawa and instead getting voices for the Prime Minister back in their ridings. And that's why I do believe in moving beyond the first past the post system, which is why I've called for, as the Liberal Party called for during our last policy convention in 2012, whole-scale change to preferential ballot, where you no longer have just the first person to get elected gets to represent, even if they only have 30 or 35% of the vote, but you need to have over 50% of support from your constituency before you can actually be their voice. And what that does isn't just give a number of over 50%. It actually requires political parties to reach out to be the second and even third choice of voters, so that they actually focus on what is in common amongst people living in the communities, rather than just highlighting differences. So that's why I believe in preferential ballot. Merci beaucoup tout le monde. Une dernière, yes.
What can other First Nations learn from the James Bay Cree since the James Bay Northern Quebec Agreement?
I think there's an awful lot to learn for other First Nations from the success of the Cree Nations solutions and agreements. What we have to always understand is every region has its own challenges and different priorities and different concerns. But I think the path that was traveled over the past 40 years by this nation is really one that we can be inspired by, and we need to draw on the principles, the integrity, the values, and the hard work that has led to this success that, like I say, is not complete yet. There's still work to be done. But I think there is certainly a lot of examples in the process to be followed. Merci beaucoup tout le monde. Thank you.